Hello everyone, welcome to the Old Man and the Read. My name is Jerry. Today I'm going to talk about another of the Nobel Prize winning writers I've read. Today I'll talk about Heinrich Boll, a German writer. He was born in 1917 and died in 1985. And he was the Nobel Prize winner in the year 1972. But his books mostly dealt with the Nazi Germany period. And he grew up as a pacifist and opposed the rise of Nazism when he was young. But then when World War II broke out, he was conscripted into the military, and he eventually, I think he was wounded about 4 times, but was then captured by the U.S. Army and put into a POW camp. So after the war, he became a writer, and his experiences gave him a huge reservoir of material to write from, and so that's basically what he wrote about. But then he was a pacifist pretty much for the rest of his life, and his books were an attempt to try to prevent further wars. So with that, I'll show you the books I've read by Heinrich Boll. The earliest I have is Billiards at 9:30, published in 1959. And this book follows Robert Femel. He was opposed to the rise of the Nazis and was a pacifist. But then when the war broke out, World War II, he ended up being put into the military, and very similar to Boll's own story. But then after the war, he tried to return to a normal life, and that included a daily game of billiards. But then one day in 1958, an event occurred that started bringing back flashbacks to him that covered 3 generations of his family, and talked about their struggle to deal with 2 world wars and the Nazi oppression. The next book I have is The Clown, published in 1963. And this is about a down-and-out clown. He moves back to his hometown, hoping to get money from his wealthy parents, but he's pretty much estranged from them. There's some themes that run through the book that deal with hypocrisy regarding racism, and it's kind of has an indictment of the Catholic Church itself. The next book, End of a Mission, published in 1966, and this is a story that takes place during the trial of a soldier and his father. They were charged with burning a government jeep, and it's a jeep that the soldier had been using when and had in his possession, but it was he had been given a ridiculous mission. In 1974, he published The Lost Honor of Katharina Blum, and this is about a woman's life who was ruined by a tabloid reporter when a man she was in love with turned out to be wanted by the police for a robbery. The next book, published in 1977, is Children Are Civilians Too, and this is a collection of short stories, but the stories deal with everyday life of Germans following World War II in some of the small villages. And they're just mostly faced with the devastation that had been created from the war. The next book is What's to Become of the Boy, published in 1981. And this is autobiographical stories by Boll recounting his childhood. He had watched the Nazis rise to power and eventually take control of all aspects of life. And he found some protection from this by attending a Catholic school where he was able to avoid having to support the Nazis. The next book is A Soldier's Legacy, published in 1982, and this is about a soldier who's guarding the Normandy coast, but is in complete boredom, that he finds himself in, and he talks about events that lead up to the death of his lieutenant. Next book I have is The Silent Angel, published in 1992, and it's that at the end of World War II, a soldier returns to his hometown. He has a coat with him of a dead soldier, and he's searching for that soldier's widow. The coat has a will that's been sewn into its lining. While he's searching, he meets a woman and they become lovers. But much of the story is just about the bleak rubble that is strewn around the remains of the city, and about the struggle to survive and find food. And the last book I have by Boll is The Stories of Heinrich Boll, published in 2006. And this is just a really great book. It's got 63 short stories in it. Most of them are very short, and a few are a little bit longer, almost novellas. But some of the stories I'll talk about. The Man with the Knives. This is about a man who agrees to be part of a knife-throwing act by standing as a target to be outlined with the knives. At the Bridge. This is about a man who has a job counting people as they cross a bridge. Drinking in Petoki. A man continues drinking at a bar even though he has no money to pay. My Sad Face. This is a man is arrested for having a sad face. The day after a law was passed, he has just gotten out of he had just gotten out of prison after 5 years for having a happy face. Unexpected Guest. This is a man's wife keeps taking in stray animals, including an elephant and a lion, And the last story I'll mention is My Expensive Leg. And this is a man who lost his leg in war and is explaining why he should receive a higher pension. But those are the books I've read by Heinrich Boll. Just a really exceptional writer, and wrote about some interesting subjects. So I want to thank you for watching the video, and hopefully I'll see you again on another. Thanks.